Hey YouTube, this is Chris. I just want to do a quick video on oil filter bypass systems. I've got a 99 F250 Super Duty with a 7.3 liter diesel. And you might ask, what is oil filter bypass? Well, oil filter bypasses take a small amount of the oil circulating through the engine and filters it finer than the full flow filter can. Your full flow filter can only, even the best filters can only really filter down to like 20 to 25 microns. What the oil filter bypass does is it takes about 10% of the oil and it filters it down finer than that. Diesels create a lot of soot when they run. That's why the oil is usually black. And unfortunately, the 3 to 4, 5 micron range is what does the most wear on the engine bearings, on your injectors, stuff like that. Something to keep in mind about the 7.3 and especially the 6.0 liter diesels is that they are not common rail systems as far as the fuel goes. What I mean by common rail is that they use high pressure fuel, sometimes up to 30,000 psi of fuel pressure to run the engine. The 7.3s and the 6.0s use high pressure oil to inject the fuel into the engine. So if you think of the fuel injector as a syringe, the syringe is full of fuel, and the oil is like the hand pressing on the injector. So something you got to keep in mind with that is that a lot of guys that install these want to extend their oil changes. Ford recommends for the 7.3 about 5,000 mile oil changes. Now with this system added, you're taking all that soot out and stuff, so the oil will stay cleaner, the oil could potentially last longer. But being that a 7.3 and a 6.0 use that oil as a hydraulic fluid to actuate the injectors, that this actually puts more wear and tear on the oil than, like I said, a common rail system like a newer 6.7 Cummins or a 6.7, Ford Power Stroke. So I would highly recommend getting it oil analyzed just to make sure that the oil is not breaking down. You might be able to extend it a few thousand miles, maybe to 10 or something, but I really don't know. I'm going to have to do my own analysis on my engine. So several companies sell kits. AMSOIL sells one. France sells one. There's some other companies. There's like a FS 2500 I've heard. They're a pretty expensive kit. I went with a different one and I just unboxed it, and I'll kind of go over reasons why I picked this one over the others. So here's the kit. So here's a kit. I bought my kit from NUC. I believe they're out in California. And it comes with everything you need according to the instructions, except for one thing I had to get extra, but not very expensive. So for one, it comes with obviously your oil filter adapter that the oil filter is going to bolt to, and this comes with this bracket, which is actually pretty cool because most kits want you to mount to the frame rail of the truck, like under the floorboard. And I didn't really like those kits because it kind of, sometimes in the videos and pictures I've seen of these installed, will put the oil filter lower than the frame. So if you're driving, off-road and you hit a stump or a rock, then you damage the oil filter and then you're in a whole mess of trouble. This one comes with a bracket that mounts close to the full flow filter and uses the bolts that mount, I believe, the transmission inspection cover. So this will keep it up close to the block. It will not stick lower than the oil pan, so it will protect the filter. Pretty nice little piece. It's already bolted up. It's built aluminum bracket. It's all marked in and out. Got the little logo on it. And as you can see that little hole? That's the hole that's going to fill the filter. So like I said, it only uses like 10% of the oil, or takes 10% of the oil circulating through the engine to filter through. So obviously this is not a full flow filter, and I warn you, never put a bypass filter in place of a full flow filter. Your engine needs that full volume of fluid to lubricate and get into the vital engine parts to lubricate it. This is just taking a small amount of the oil and filtering it finer than the full flow filter can. That's why the full flow filters do not actually filter finer than 20 microns, because they have to be able to give the flow the engine needs, especially on a cold startup. So pretty nice little bracket. Comes with the fittings you need to install it on the block. One of these will be for the supply line coming into the filter, and then the other one will be the return back to the block, or which goes back into the oil pan basically. This bigger fitting here, this one will go inside here, and that'll be your return line. Pretty nice. They already got Teflon tape on it and everything. Pretty nice. Also comes with the steel braided lines, flared lines. Pretty nice, already pre-made. Most kits that you buy, you have to make your lines. They give you the fittings and the hose, but the lines usually have to be several feet long to get to, from here to the block, and then back from the block to your actual adapter. I like this because the lines are short, already pre-made too. One thing that I did do some research on is that the return side that comes back to the block, which would be this fitting here, is a pipe. It's a pipe plug socket you need, and it's 5/16. So you just can't take your 3/8 or your 1/2-inch drive ratchet and stick it in there and get this plug out of the block to install this plug. So Advanced Auto Port's only like 25 bucks for this specific one, socket that I'd have to buy and only use maybe probably one time. So what I did was, hopefully it works. Haven't checked for fitment yet. So I went and bought a piece of 5/16 square stock. So what I'll do is I'll probably cut a piece off, make it short, put a crescent wrench on it, put it in the plug, and then remove it that way. This was like $4, so a lot cheaper. And also, the kit also comes with the AMSOIL bypass filter. And even on here it says at 98% efficiency, it can filter down to 2 microns, take out all that nasty stuff that is doing wear and tear on your engine bearings and stuff. And number one, in my mind, is the injectors. Injectors for this engine are about $250, $240 a piece, brand new. The cleaner you can keep those injectors, being that it does use the high pressure oil to actuate the injectors, is the main reason why I'm putting this on here. I want to get as many miles as possible out of this engine. I'll do a video later on. I'm waiting for my oil to come in from Schaefer's, and I'll do the oil change, and I'll install this at the same time. And I'll do a video of it once it's installed, and let you know if I had any problems or any hurdles I had to overcome. You guys have a good day.